Social media played a big role in the fallout of Charlie Kirk's assassination. Before the official announcement that Kirk had died came out, videos of the tragedy were playing out online, and conspiracy theorists about the incident were spreading as well. Now, some employers are taking action against their employees for their social media posts. I'm joined now live by John Hart, a senior counsel and government liaison, currently working at Cedarville University as the Director of Development. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Let's start with setting the stage. How does the First Amendment apply on social media platforms?
Well, the First Amendment applies to social media platforms like it would to other forums, whether it's the written or verbal communications. And the government and the First Amendment is the one who has restricted from abridging those rights. But even there, that restriction is not without limitation. In the private sector, where there are private employers, they have much greater latitude to exercise some control over what's posted on social media.
So what control can companies exert over their employees on social media, those that aren't self-employed and can do pretty much what they want?
Well, they look at the types of implications that are made by the comments. So they look not only at the content, but the context. And they recognize that all this free speech exists, but it also is not without consequences. And so they can say we have a company policy, a regulation. The more related it is to the workplace or the mission of the institution or the employer, the more latitude they have to direct consequences as a result of the postings.
What are the legal precedents at play here? How have people gotten fired over this?
Well, again, they have to show that there's some type of behavior that is violative of threatening violence, perhaps dishonesty, slander, libel, trade secrets, the like. The private employer has a lot more latitude to exercise its discretion in making that decision. And throughout history, we've seen the cases support those types of decisions by those employers.
Can you talk a little bit about the relations we're seeing between hate speech and misinformation on social media?
Yeah, and that's our troubling, obviously, that it exists in terms of people expressing their opinions and ideas. Sometimes it's not only what's said, but how it's said. And the aspect of the fact that they have other purposes in mind, other impacts in mind, and unfortunately, misinformation often can lead to bad decisions or a rush to the decision before all the information is in.
John, why should people be careful when posting political content online?
Well, because they can't protect that once that posting is out, they can't necessarily restrict or explain it or protect how it's being used by others. And that is not part of the protected speech that comes from the First Amendment. It comes, especially when we're talking about private employers.
John Hart from Cedarville University, we appreciate your time this afternoon.
My pleasure.